So I got a new airbrush recently, and I've been wanting to practice. I've been practicing on paper a little bit to get a little bit of control, but I wanted to do some lures, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time making the lure and then painting it. So what I did was I bought some of these. You can get these at different places, lureparts.com. This is from Jan's Netcraft, I believe. You just get these little plastic bodies. They're all made. They have rattles in them. They have the screw eyes in them. They're pretty much ready to go. You just got to put split rings and hooks on them, and of course paint them. So I'm going to practice painting, and I thought I'd show you a few really simple basic paint jobs. These from Jan's Netcraft, they come in 2 to a package, which is pretty nice. I think lureparts.com, they have like 5 in a package, which is a little too many for me. But I got a couple of walkers. I got a couple of shallow diving baits, super shallow diving baits, and kind of a medium diving bait. So let's get to work. So before you do anything, before you even prime them, you want to clean these, because what they usually use is a mold release agent. So when they inject these, the plastic comes out easily. And sometimes they wash them off pretty well. Some companies don't. Some companies don't wash them off at all. Paint doesn't really like to stick to it. So I just put a little dishwashing soap in there. Dawn's really nice just because it is kind of a oily based substance, and that really cuts that out. So all you gotta do is just do that. That'll take a lot of that off. I even take a toothbrush to each one, and then we can prime it. Okay, now make sure these are good and dry before you paint them. Anything with a lip like this, you're going to have to put some painter's tape around here. Like that. And then we can prime it. So I'm using Vallejo Surface Primer in white. You can get it in different colors. Gray and black are the most popular. White, gray, and black. And then I'll go ahead and prime these up. Alright, time to prime these puppies up. And once these dry, we can paint them. So where I fish, and probably where a lot of people fish, golden shiners are very, very popular bait fish. So I always like to make a golden shiner. Very easy to do. Just need a black top, gold sides, white bottom, and you got yourself a golden shiner. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use this pearlized gold is what I have. So that's what I'm going to use. So I want to go just a little past the lateral line of the fish with the gold. I'm going to leave that white. I'm going to do black on the top and down the sides a little bit towards the top. I'm going to use my mesh to make scales. Alright, that looks pretty good, I think. acceptable to me. Sorry, my furnace is running. I'm in the basement. It's kind of loud down here. Alright, I'm going to fill these gills in a little bit here with some black paint. I am just going to use a toothpick. Then I'm going to take a little red, go up this here. Done. Do it on the other side and I'm ready to clear coat and put hooks on. You can hear all right. I've got an exhaust fan blowing and my air compressor, of course. Super glued some eyes on there. You could paint eyes on there if you wanted to, but I just super glued some. I got a bunch of different eyes. They have adhesive on them, but they don't stick all that great. So once you did a couple of coats of clear coat on there, that helps keep it in place pretty good too. But I still like to stick a little super glue on there. I'm using Creatix Clear Gloss. So I'm going to put 3 coats of this on, and then I have my UV stuff that I use on all my lures. So much thicker, and I'll paint that on using a brush. Okay, so this one I'm going to put some fluorescent chartreuse on. And we'll let that dry. Okay, so I bought some mesh here. This is what they call coarse scale netting. I got this at Lure Parts online. And I cut out a piece and I have it clamped to my lure. And now I'm going to paint the sides up on towards the top a light coat of black, and then the very top I'm going to spray good and dark. Alright, so I didn't go quite as dark as I wanted to on the side, but it does go from dark and then it fades into the chartreuse, so it's not bad. It's alright. I'm going to take a small paintbrush and paint red around the gills, under the front here, and I'll do the nail dipping into the paint and put a red dot there. Put some eyes on it, clear coat it, and go fishing. Now the bottom here I would quite often do with the airbrush, but I have seen them hand painted and they make it kind of look messy, and so I don't know, I thought it looked kind of cool, so I'm going to try it Plus, my red paint is old and it's kind of thickened, and I'd have to thin it just right to get it to work with an airbrush. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint that by hand. Now I'm going to clear coat this guy. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this real good or not, because the light's on it. Probably might look shiny, but this is pretty darn dull. That's not a gloss coat at all. It doesn't bother me because see, this was done in the same thing. I don't know if you can see it well or not, but this is good and glossy, because after I put that clear coat on, put a couple coats of that on, I put a different clear coat that reflects UV rays, and it's very glossy. And the only reason I put the other clear coat on at all is because this paint has a tendency to run when I paint the other clear coat over it. So I spray it a couple of times and then it won't run. So this is good and glossy. This is not. Oh yeah, I got my UV blast on there now. These are as shiny as can be. They look good. Hey, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. Hey, have a great day and thanks. There they are. They're all set to go. Ready to go fishing.